All right, guys, thank you for coming back. Another video. Here's a video I wish I wasn't having to make, but the Camaro, some a-hole was being stupid and caused chaos, and then used both feet to put their brakes on, and I didn't stop in time. So as you can see, damage there. We got damage here with the headlight, damage to the grill. This piece here is bent right there. I already took it out. I was trying to figure out if this is fixable without a shop or not, because that's where I'm at with it. But today, got the quick jack out. If you guys don't have one of these, you really need one. I searched and searched and searched till I found one for under $1,000 on Craigslist. Yeah, that's that other one other than Marketplace where I get stuff too. And get it up in the air, pull the inner wheel wells, get the front end off, and then see what kind of damage we got going on behind there. And yeah, I know, another Camaro video. You'd rather see the truck, but today, this is what I'm gonna work on. Let's get this thing up in the air. Alrighty. I need to pull the inner wheel wells and then pull all the screws underneath, and then we got a couple up and through here. Pop some of these screws out that are T20s, and we got a whole bunch of those little plastic clips in here. Yeah, so I had some lady cut in front of me in an intersection, and then, do the old road rage because you revved up the engine because you were in the wrong gear and wanted to put it in a different one. And then started brake checking and wouldn't let me in another lane, trying to get, out of the way, let her do her day and let me do mine. And then got stuck behind her because there was too much traffic everywhere else, and she decided to lay on the brakes. And unfortunately, I don't have a camera in this car because I don't drive it every day. And yeah, put me at 100% at fault because I don't have a camera. And go figure, she lied. I mean, what am I gonna do? Take my under 50,000 mile car and just slam the back of somebody for the heck of it? Well, the insurance company thinks so. But whatever. Just gotta fix it. It'd be funner to do this on the other one, do some upgrades or do some fixing the other one that actually needs to be fixed from the Mustang that decided to total my car. how I ended up with this one. But it already has tons and tons of upgrades. Alright. There's those screws. Clipped in there. What we got down there? Lovely. Got a Phillips screw just crammed in the bottom of there. I haven't done much work to this one yet. Like I said, it's a low mile car. Somebody decided to get a Camaro and let it sit in their garage a lot. I've had it a year and a half, and whew, that one's pretty messed up. Had it a year and a half, put almost 10,000 miles on it. So, I definitely drive. Oh, come on. Some of these clips are just wasted. And there's quite a few of them. I keep hearing gravel fall out everywhere. Another broken one. Okay, so we had 3 screws in the front, 2 in the rear, 2, 4, 5 of the little plugs. And then I've got one up here. If you can see in here, we have 1, 2, 3 bolts. Then there's another one right there. Unplug that light and that light. All right, I got all the screws out of there. Everything's loose. There were 2 up under here in a little hole. I forgot about those. This side's loose. Now we just got to do these 2. And it should slide off, except for that wiring harness down in there. Shoot. Where is? All right, we're gonna do this a different way. Well, I know you like being jiggled upside down and around in circles. So, there's what I need there. Okay, it took a second to get that off of there. It's gone. Now, the fun part is that's busted off. And the price of these things is not cheap. So I may work on figuring out how to fix it. Well, that one wants to fight. Let's see. There we go. And bracket. There's the light. Oh yeah. And housing's cracked up through there. It doesn't look like it's missing. It's broke there. Cracked up around the edge of there. Hole where another bracket's supposed to be, and another one's broke off right there. I have one that's somewhat broken out in my parts room, but there's 1, 2, 3 brackets. Well, let's see about getting these off and putting the pieces together. And sorry, I'm yanking you up and down and around in worse circles because I do all this with my iPhone, nothing special. This one. Yes. Upper bracket off. That over here. Lower brackets. Throw those over here. And so far, it just looks like this got pushed in. And I need to know what it looks like on this side to know how bad. So let's pull this headlight. Okay, that's one way to get it out of there. Okay, so yeah. So if we look at the good side, everything's pretty flat. That looks pretty flat. I'm gonna come over here. Everything's a little bent, especially right there. So I technically just need to grab it right here, pull that out, Doesn't seem like that's bent too much there or here. It's just mostly right here. Push bar didn't get messed up. It looks pretty good, so all I really need is a front bumper cover. Everything else seems to be good except for my underglow that got destroyed for a third time. So, all right. Well, we'll see what I can do to find some parts. Okay, after some research and calling around to get parts for the Camaro, yeah, we're gonna fix this stuff. The bumper cover. If I just order one, don't care, cover, $600 plus shipping. Nice. Or was 600, yeah. Plus or minus shipping, it all depending on where you called. If I wanted one in the same color, it was $1,050. Yeah, no. It's got a small crack in it. I'm pretty sure I can fix that for now. And then we'll just wait till I can find one that doesn't cost a fortune. Second of all, the headlight, we already know those for OEM headlights, $650 each. And I do have my other Camaro, but I don't really want to go pull parts off of it to fix this one, to eventually have to put parts back on that one. So I think we're going to fix all this stuff. And I've already tried to do a little pull on the panels here on the core support. And those come out fairly easy. So on this one, instead of using CAD, we're going to use cardboard aided repair. And I've already made 2 patterns. So I'll show you how those work in a minute. And that'll help me get everything put back into place. I'll have to fix the headlight first so that we can get it put back. And then I have the radiator bumper support. This I might steal off the other one temporarily. Funny part is, I can order that. It's $20-some, but shipping is almost the exact same price as the part. So it ends up being $50 just to ship that thing here, 50 plus. So we'll see about fixing all this stuff, but I think we'll start with the headlight, then we'll work on the core support, get the headlight mounted the way it's supposed to be, and then we can fix the bumper. Okay, so I have all the little pieces. Screws out of the way. All the little bits and pieces to put this back together. You'll see that one fits in there. This little piece goes here. This one goes over here. This one goes over here. And then there's a broken section here that we'll need to fix. Or just make it watertight. And same thing right here. There's a bunch of cracks down through here. Have to fix those and seal them. And then I just noticed a little bit ago there's a spiral crack right here we'll have to seal. Just make it watertight, so I have soldering iron. That'll help seal some stuff up. And then we have the plastic weld gun. So that has these little fittings. These little barbs like this. Those go on the end of the gun. Sometimes they fit easy, sometimes they don't. Okay. And then what you do is you heat up the part, or you heat up this, and then you just press it in here a little bit till it sets, and then you let off the trigger, let it cool for a second, then pull this off. And That'll make sure that everything stays together. And I've already kind of checked to see how everything sits, fits, and what I need to do to get it laid in there in the proper way. Which is right there. Ah! Okay. Take this, heat it up, starts to drop in, let off the trigger. And there we go. It's locked in. Not going anywhere now. Now I just need to work my way around and get this all hooked back in there. So that we can use this headlight. Because a handful of these is a whole lot cheaper than a headlight. Let alone for you that repair and know how to repair. This is way cheaper and will last just as long as a good one. And then I'll have to come back afterward and chop all the little tabs off. But I got lucky that all the pieces were there. And I'm going to put one in between every one of these little grooves because this is what holds it from the top. But I'm going to go around and do that all the way around this one. Get it all locked in, then I'll show you what it looks like and get started on the next one. Okay, top is done. You can see all the little tabs here everywhere. A whole bunch down in through here. And I did break out another set that are just a little U-shape for a couple of pieces. And now it's pretty strong. Still have to go back, clip all the little tabs off, hit it with the soldering iron, seal up all the cracks. But now we can work on a couple of these other little pieces and then flip it over and do the bottom. But let's get this one on here. This one I think just holds it to the fender. Whoop. Tried to take it away too soon. Okay, let's put that back on. And some of these, when we go back and solder around the edges, it'll hold it much tighter. Now I'll put one in from this side. Trying not to scratch up the lens. Well, everything. Stop scratching up the lens. Use this just to heat it up. Create the repair. Oh, that's way more solid. So, another little trick is just use this to heat up the piece. And glue it back together. Okay. Now, that's almost as solid as it was before. It'll probably break once. But it'll work until I find a new light. Alright, now all I need to do is a bunch more of those around it. And then I'll bring you back for the finishing touches on getting everything hot knifed and cleaned up and locked in and watertight. Alright, had to switch out because the other one wasn't working anymore. But I'm just going to go on top of most of these metal pieces. Just fill it in with plastic. You just go along and just rub the edge of it. And the plastic will fill in. And it'll make it watertight and make it structurally sound again as well. To a point. It'd been more structurally sound if it didn't get screwed up. But and I'd really like to show this on anything but my own car that I drive and paid a lot of money for. I'm sure there's one or two of you that'll see this that are thinking the same thing, and now I'll go fix your car. Because it's not all that hard. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep on doing that. Okay. We got it all fixed up. We got all those in there. This down in here. This piece is pretty dang solid. You can see through here. Down in through there. So now I've got a couple of spots. Like in here. Down in here. Up and through here. And right there. And I think a couple across this top edge where I can't seal it. So now we get out another tool, hot glue gun. We're playing in the arts and crafts here today. We'll get this hot glue gun heated up and glue up some of that. And then I'll work on fixing that core support so we can get the headlights mounted. And then I'll fix the crack that's in the bumper. And we can get started on putting the bumper back on. You can see down in there, it's done up. Got it up around this side here. Up in there. Couple of spots up in there. And then behind all this in here. Got that side cleaned up. And this is where I got arts and crafts and just put in a lot of hot glue just to keep it from getting wet down inside. This is all the spot that you could see was bad, and then I put some over this spot right here just to keep it from getting any water in it. And then yeah, this, you can see this crack right here is from my pinky clear out there. That one I'll be able to do the same thing from underneath. Put some of that weld in there and hold it together. And figure that out afterwards, how to make it look pretty again. Not going to fix this grill. Because over here, I still have the grill that came with my car. That I don't like these, but it's going to have to go back on. So that's the Heritage grill. And then next we're going to work on this over here. So this is where my cat or car comes in. So if we look at this piece, how that fits in there, and I marked a few places where everything's supposed to line up. You can bring it over here, and it should be in the same place right there. And you can see how far everything is off there. Now this one fits in like this. It's right across the top edge of the core support right here. Then we come over here. And we can see how far off it is right there. So that's what we got to fix. Okay, went down, got an eye hook. Had a few washers laying around. And something I really hate to do, but we're going to drill a hole right there through that hole. Then put the eye hook in there. Grab this, pull this piece out where it needs to be. And let's do it. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Come here. All right. Using two thicker washers and a thinner one that's the right size. The thicker ones have a bigger hole. Just need this to hold a big area. Pull it out. Well, let's show you how that worked. All right, pattern. As you can see on this side, line up the marks, pretty flat. Line up the mark right at the top, but it's pretty dang close. Everything's on the money except for that one little spot in there. Not too concerned. I'll fix that up a little bit here. Now, we got to work on this area in here. Get that set up for the headlight. So I'll probably move this into that hole and pull it forward a little. All right, all set up, ready to go. Let's pull this a little. And it's going to be really easy to pull. Most of it that way. A little car pattern. Cardboard adhesive. Okay, last thing to finish this piece here. Get this back on. And then install a rivet. Okay, there we go. Really? Okay. Now, that really smashed that in there, but it's on there. Yeah, now let's do a little cleanup. Watch these guys on YouTube and like legit street cars and all that. Hey, let's clean it up. Well, now I'm starting to follow their suit because before I would have never done this kind of stuff, but now I do. Heck, I never even had a car that, I washed it all the time, but I never had one I wanted to keep this nice. And as time goes on, I'll get another headlight and get another bumper. But for now, this is fixed. Looks good. Now I'll get it all cleaned up. Okay, well, let's get this thing installed. Whoa! Hey, scratch it after you're done fixing it. So we got a plug under here. It has to be hooked in. And I'm sure I can get to it after I hook this up. Okay. Oh. Okay, this went on really well without the inner brace. Now let's hold it up. Oh, there's a bolt in there you didn't take off. Come on. Forgot to take off that bolt on that brace I riveted in. Got it. Hey, it fits now. Okay. Make sure I plug the bumper in so I don't forget. All the running lights. And the fog light plug. Okay. And that running light fog light plug's on this side. For those of you that they make a little plug like this, and it plugs in between the wiring harness and the bumper harness, and that turns your running lights here into your halos. But I don't want to use the one I have. I think it's fine just like it is for now. This is going to come off again, so there we have it. Now all I have to do is bolt everything up that you saw me take all apart. and it looks pretty good. Let's take a look now here. Everything's hooked up, so not bad. Those gaps will all seal up when I'm done. Like I said, we'll probably wander out, pull this panel off of the other one I have outside, my other one, and or fix the one I have. But there it is. There's what she looks like with a Heritage grill on her now. Like I say, I'm not a big fan of that grill, but it's going to have to work until I can afford the $100 to get the ZL1 one, and then I have to get another SS emblem because the one came off in the accident, blah, 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 blah. Oh, plus I got to pull this off again and put those under panels on that I forgot that I'm looking through the grill and seeing now. Look at that. I'm missing panels in there. Hey, we're going to take this off again. Okay, got it all repaired, all put back together. I mean, yeah, you can still see it if you look up close. So I'll have to fix all this when I pull the clear bra stuff. But got that back together, intakes back in, hooked back up. My other one, I put a bracket here so it didn't move around so much. But hood closes down. Everything's nice and flush. Even the gaps look pretty good all the way around. Not too bad, kind of like it was before. And then we got all the screws back in here. Inner wheel wells in, all those screws. And these screws down in here, I like to put in by hand so you don't over tighten them and strip out the little clip that's back there. It's a little tin clip. Well, we got everything all squared away, looking good. Now we got to do is wait for the weather outside to get a little drier and go for a drive. I haven't driven this thing for about 2 weeks now after it gets a bath. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap for the video on repairing the Camaro here. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And if any of you are interested, I still have a few of these shirts left over from a couple years ago when I was doing some printing for my side business, which is now turning into more than that. So if you want one of those shirts, let me know in the comments. I can get back to you with sizes that I still have left. There's only a handful, and I think they're about $25. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Appreciate it.